All right, it is Saturday, the 21st of June, and this is going to be the second episode of my new trading series. So, where I left off was over here. These were the last trades I took, and I did not make any recordings during the week for this one. I'm just going to be reviewing my trades. And the first ones I took were right over here, Sunday the 15th. I'm probably just going to try and paste a picture of the P&Ls on here so I don't have to keep clicking back and forth. But these were both losers. So the first one I took about a $3 loss. The second one was a little less than 0.5% loss. I did manage to de-risk this one slightly. But yeah, again, two scalp trades that did not go my way. And next I took this long over here on Tuesday, and that was another loss. Again, a trade I was able to de-risk was right before I went to work. So yeah, I mean, I didn't do much trading on Tuesday. It looks like I took another trade later on in the day after I got home. This was the last trade I took in episode 1, so this was the first one of episode 2 on this exchange, and that one was a pretty large loss, a larger than 1%. Now, I initially took a 1% risk on it, but I do remember on this trade, if I go to a lower time frame, I did move my stop loss to the upside. So, you know, I got bearish confirmations. I entered a short once we lost VWAP following those bearish confirmations. We started ranging here, and basically I kept moving my stop up because I was looking for SFPs at the high of this local range. Stupid mistake that cost me an extra $2.60 that I shouldn't have lost, but it is what it is. And then that brings us to Wednesday. So Wednesday I did a lot of scalping. I was home all day. I started trading early in the morning, and I will run through these scalps even though they weren't really anything too impressive. I was using some scalp strategies that I've been practicing recently, ways to identify important lows or highs. But the first trade I took was just an SFP of this low, essentially, and that one was a winner. It was a scalp trade, so I took 0.5% risk on it, and I made $3.75 on it. I think I locked in what I risked with my first TP and then moved my stop loss to the upside. I took this scalp short to hedge. Yeah, this was a very quick in and out trade, made a quick $4, and shortly after I tried a long scalp, which went against me. So I took a $2 loss on that one, and then I ended off the day with another scalp long down here. I was looking at a sweep of this low as well as this low back here, sweeping some liquidity from both of those. And yeah, I don't remember exactly what all my confirmations were. I was, using Coinalyze for order flow, market cipher, price action, any and all of the above. But this one I made just under $6. So, with a $2.40 risk, that's over 2-to-1, which is not too bad. So yeah, Wednesday was a decent day of scalping. Then I believe that brings us to the trade that I'm in currently. So before I get to that, I want to go over kind of what I was looking at on the bigger time frames with price action. So I mentioned in the last TCQ episode that I did not like this low. I thought that this low will probably get swept. And if you're curious why I did not like that low, I made a video about that. I also mentioned on my Twitter, which if you're not following my Twitter, link is in the description of all my videos. But once we got this move to the upside and started failing to hold support as we retraced, I started targeting that low again. So yeah, I mean, while I was scalping in here, some of my shorts I was hoping to hold if we ended up coming back down to this low. Was not able to get any shorts that I was able to hold though. There was a beautiful short on this high in hindsight, but I did not take it. Following this little mini range where I did a bunch of scalping, we actually swept the high of the range with a very odd move. I was not able to get a short here. I was hoping to run this high once again, and I was looking for shorts if we did that, but we kind of formed this mini range, which ended up breaking to the downside and eventually brought us down to my target. So we hit that low on the 20th, and I mentioned that we did see high time frame bull divs on the 1 hour to 4 hour, higher low in momentum with a lower low in price if you connect the waves that correspond to the lows. So, not bad market cipher confirmations, the 4 hour also diverging at the time. But despite that, we, one, did not hit my support box. We front ran it. We also did not really see good low time frame price action for me to like it as a low. If I zoom back in here, This was a very aggressive move to the downside. Did not really give any low time frame setups, no divergences, no market structure, nothing to really qualify this as a good looking low, especially since we front ran my support box. So I was looking for that low to get swept again. And I also mentioned that if we reclaimed value area low, which was at 103.5, then I would start looking for local longs. Maybe then, I would admit that this could be a low given the divergences. It's not impossible for Bitcoin to front run important supports like this. And Bitcoin tried to reclaim value area low. Again, it was at 103.500. So the first attempt I would call a failure. We, just barely got above it. Essentially wicked it out, and then we're unable to break above the wick. We broke back down below the value area low. And the second time that we came up, we just failed above the high that failed the first time. So I really would not count either of these as reclaiming the value area low, even though we traded above it. They were both failed attempts. And as I woke up this morning on Saturday, I saw a beautiful short trade staring me in the face right as I pulled my phone out. We had just gone above the high, we had failed above it again, we had started breaking back to the downside. So I entered a short with a 1% risk, and I ended up falling asleep on this trade. I wasn't intending to fall asleep on this trade, especially while it was at risk, but that's what happened. So I woke up to some good news. Price had dumped, but we had not hit my target yet. I was initially looking for a 3-to-1, and price all morning was giving me stress and anxiety by front running my limit order, especially this last one. I was thinking about TPing here, this last move to the downside happened like just as I walked away from my computer, so I wasn't there to mark it out as we, front ran my limit order. And I came back to price getting this super aggressive bullish move. Now, I did, at this point, de-risk my trade. I think I put my stop loss like above VWAP. Like, I really didn't want to see us break above this high, but I was able to move my stop loss back up. I think I put it, just above my entry. Even though I thought it was going to get hit, I really thought, given this bullish move to the upside, that we would see maybe a deeper move into this range, but no, we basically just came up to backtest it, and then immediately rejected. And then we did some more ranging in there, eventually hit my TP1. So that was a stressful short, but soon after it became a not so stressful short. I basically spent the rest of the day picking profits out of this short as we continued to work our way down towards my target and eventually even lower. So this is so far my best trade of the series, and if I go over to weeks, I am still in this trade. I have $22.64 locked in apparently, even though that is not the same as what it says on my position history here. If it loads up, it says I have 23.47 realized. So a little odd. Maybe it has something to do with fees. I don't know. But I have another $6 in unrealized. And price did get a pretty aggressive move following this move into support. But at this point, I think I do want to just hold the rest of the short. I'll have my stop loss at entry or above this high here, either or really. But given the fact that we did not really SFP this low like I wanted to, and by extension this low, since we didn't really SFP into this support, we kind of got an aggressive move into it. I think I am still targeting lower, and this low is the next logical point to target. And I just updated the totals, so we are now officially in the green, plus $5 from where we started, and plus $22 from the end of last week. And let me fix my chart because that should be a V shape. Now, I did include my unrealized profit in this, because this is changing, so this is accounting for my unrealized. So, for that reason, I do have the timestamps over here, because this, can vary minute to minute. A much improved trading week. Still not great, I really only had, this one good trade over here where I locked in more than, 3-to-1. Other than that, it was just, some decent scalp trades and then some losses that I probably shouldn't have taken. But that does it for this video. So thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. I appreciate the support. And I will see you all in the next episode.